Paris, August 27, 2025. The political heart of France beats with tension. At the Élysée Palace, President Emmanuel Macron has stepped firmly into a storm engulfing his government, declaring his full support for Prime Minister François Bayrou. The embattled leader has called for a risky confidence vote in Parliament, a move that could either strengthen his authority or plunge the country into political crisis. The French president spoke at the very start about the political situation and the challenges our country faces, and then returned to the subject a second time, giving his full support to this approach. He stressed the need to agree on the priorities, restoring public finances to a trajectory that matches our vision of budgetary sovereignty so we can regain the capacity to invest. He affirmed his complete cohesion, agreement and support for France producing more and spending public money better. Funds that were essential during times of crisis, but which now need to be managed more rationally. The message is clear. Macron is not only backing Bayrou politically, he is tying France's economic destiny to this government's survival. The words delivered by government spokesperson Sophie Primas highlight two pressing themes: sovereignty over the national budget and rational spending. For Macron, these are not abstract concepts. They are tied to France's credibility on the world stage, its ability to attract investment, and its resilience in times of global uncertainty. But the risk is enormous. By calling a confidence vote, Bayrou has placed his government's future in the hands of a deeply divided National Assembly. Support from Macron may strengthen his hand, yet the divisions within Parliament remain sharp, reflecting fractures across French society. France is no stranger to political gambles. Since the Fifth Republic's founding in 1958, presidents and prime ministers have often tested their legitimacy through high-stakes parliamentary manoeuvres. For François Bayrou, the veteran centrist, the upcoming vote is more than a procedural battle. It is a test of whether his coalition, fragmented between centrists, social democrats and uneasy conservatives, can hold together. The backdrop is equally daunting: a nation strained by inflation, debt approaching 115% of GDP, and public anger over cuts in social programmes. Macron's insistence on restoring budgetary sovereignty is, in essence, a call to bring public debt under control, even if it means painful adjustments. Observers note that Macron's intervention is both strategic and symbolic. By aligning himself so openly with Bayrou, he is signalling unity at the top of the executive branch. But the timing is crucial. France's credit rating has been under pressure, and Brussels has warned Paris over its widening deficits. Macron knows that without parliamentary cohesion, his government risks paralysis at a moment when European partners demand clarity. The confidence vote is scheduled for next month. If Bayrou wins, he may emerge stronger, emboldened to pursue reforms on pensions, taxation and industrial policy. If he loses, Macron will face the grim prospect of either appointing a new prime minister or calling for new elections, both options fraught with uncertainty. The Élysées message emphasises productivity, producing more, and efficiency, spending better. This dual slogan encapsulates Macron's economic vision: a France that stimulates growth through investment in technology and industry, but without the unchecked spending that ballooned during the COVID-19 and energy crises. Yet, critics argue that this is austerity by another name. Trade unions accuse Macron of balancing the books on the backs of workers and pensioners. Opposition parties, from the leftist La France Insoumise to Marine Le Pen's National Rally, are sharpening their attacks. For them, Bayrou's risky confidence vote is an opportunity to portray the government as out of touch and overreaching. In French political history, confidence votes have often marked turning points. Charles de Gaulle himself resigned in 1969 after losing a referendum. More recently, prime ministers such as Manuel Valls and Elizabeth Borne faced confidence motions amid fierce opposition. Bayrou's choice to request such a vote voluntarily is unusual. It transforms a threat into a test of strength. But history shows these gambles can end careers as easily as they can cement legacies. On the streets of Paris, reactions are mixed. Some applaud Macron's show of unity, insisting that political stability is essential in turbulent times. Others voice cynicism, weary of promises about fiscal discipline when unemployment and cost of living remain pressing concerns. In Bordeaux, Bayrou's political stronghold, loyalists say the Prime Minister embodies pragmatism. But in Marseille and Lille, opposition voices dominate, denouncing what they see as a government prioritising Brussels and markets over ordinary people. As France heads toward next month's vote, the stakes extend beyond Bayrou's survival. This is about Macron's broader vision for his second term, a France that is fiscally disciplined, economically competitive, and politically stable. Yet with public trust fragile and parliamentary support uncertain, the path ahead is far from assured. The confidence vote could become the defining moment of Macron's presidency, a triumph of unity, or the start of deeper division. For now, at least, the Élysée has spoken in one voice. The President and his Prime Minister stand together. The question is whether Parliament and the French people will do the same. The French President spoke at the very start about the political situation and the challenges our country faces, and then returned to the subject a second time, giving his full support to this approach. He stressed the need to agree on the priorities, restoring public finances to a trajectory that matches our vision of budgetary sovereignty so we can regain the capacity to invest. He affirmed his complete cohesion, agreement and support for France producing more and spending public money better, funds that were essential during times of crisis but which now need to be managed more rationally.
Et qu'il était en parfaite osmose et en parfait accord et en parfait soutien sur les questions de produire plus et de dépenser mieux l'argent public qui a été nécessaire pendant les périodes de crise et qu'il faut maintenant re-rationaliser.
Donc quel est l'état d'esprit ?